You want me to put that on my Tudor?
Harry's wife. Was she a yacht girl? Part 2. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Continuing a forensic examination with regard to whether Harry's wife was a yacht girl. Having established context for the likelihood that Harry's wife was a yacht girl, namely, the industry she operated in, was a prime ground for the provision of yacht girls, and that her narcissism would lend itself to the effective discharge of such a role, we need to then examine whether any actual evidence exists to support the proposition that she actively engaged in such behaviour. First of all, there's the issue of the rumours themselves. They have been repeated again and again. This invariably is the repetition of the suggestion of itself, and the principle of no smoke without fire has no evidential weight whatsoever here. Accordingly, we reject the persistence of these rumours as having any probative value. An individual called John LeFevre stated on Twitter, Prince Harry revealed that he met Harry's wife on Instagram. Amazingly, that's not the first prince she met online. All the Saudis flew her to France and Dubai as a yacht companion. He's just the dope who tried to turn her into a wife. And this was issued on December the 8th, 2022 at 8:41 p.m. Well, who is John LeFevre? He is a former Solomon Brothers and Citigroup investment banker and bond syndicate executive. He's known for creating the anonymous Goldman Sachs Elevator Twitter handle. The account purported to reflect and satirize banking culture and accumulated considerable followers and press coverage. Goldman Sachs and Citigroup launched internal investigations in an attempt to identify the source of the tweets. Having worked in this banking environment, and he was referred to as one of the most prolific syndicate managers in Asia, it is not a stretch of the imagination to find that he operated within a world which would know about parties on yachts, men utilising their wealth and power to obtain yacht girls. And that would bring a degree of credibility to his assertion. First of all, we have that credibility of the world with which he operates. Then there's also the fact that he has not been sued about this by the repeatedly litigious Harry's wife. Now, of course, she may have just decided to rise above the tittle-tattle and asserts control that way. But such an allegation that she was a yachting companion and the inference that comes with that is one which is, of course, damaging to her, and you might expect action to have been taken. After all, there is the suggestion that the internet has been scrubbed as much as possible of any evidence that supports the fact that she's a yacht girl because of her involvement with old Ginger Bollocks. The fact that LeFevre moves within those circles and has not been sued in relation to what he wrote does add to its veracity as reliable evidence. Next, we have a posting by somebody going by the name of Anonymous, providing an answer on the 1st of April 2021. It might be worthwhile bearing in mind the date that's being shown there as April Fool's Day. The post states, Harry's wife is being called a yacht girl, which is a type of prostitute, because a witness who worked with her came forward to confirm she was, in fact, a yacht girl. The eyewitness that worked with Harry's wife is named Christopher Jones. Christopher Jones himself was a yacht boy who exchanged sexual favours on yachts in exchange for money or contacts or promotions. he gave a first-hand eyewitness account of Harry's wife being a former prostitute. It literally doesn't get any worse than that. It was this eyewitness coming forward that really cemented Harry's wife's fate. For the rest of her life, she's going to be known as a yacht girl. And we know this rumour is true. How? Because she hasn't sued. An earlier posting by Anonymous puts paid to the suggestion that it might just be an April's Fool, because an answer that was provided on the 16th of February 2021 stated as follows. A yacht girl is a term for an attractive woman who exchanges sexual favours on yachts for money, influence or job positions. The rumour circulating about Harry's wife being a former yacht girl is due to co-workers who used to work with her coming forward, most notably Christopher Jones. Christopher Jones, who is also on Quora, claims to be a former yacht boy who knew and worked with Harry's wife when she was working as a yacht girl. His post about Harry's wife being a former sex worker, of course, have since been removed or blocked by Quora moderators. But is it true? Is it really true that Harry's wife was a prostitute? The only people who know that answer is Harry's wife, Christopher Jones, and her possible former employees. I think that person means employer. You can message Christopher Jones or follow him on Quora for more information. As for what to believe, I personally believe Mr. Jones. He has never given an interview or done a documentary or taken money to come out about Harry's wife's past. He simply stated once that he knew Harry's wife from their yachting days and explained what that was. But the truth is, unless more yacht girls who worked with Harry's wife come forward, we will most likely never know the truth. Now, what we have is people's reportage about what Mr. Jones purportedly wrote on Quora, but it would appear that his admission on Quora no longer exists, Quora having removed it. There is more information from Mr. Jones, who claims that he moved in the circles that involved Harry's wife. He posted further on Quora, Nick literally holds court and is very eccentric, doing things like turning up in a fez hat. In the same room are designers, architects, product development. They sell their own products in addition to the houses. There is a rival to WeWork, takeaway burger outlet, pizza chain, chicken shop, spas. You can pretty much buy everything you find in the houses and the rooms, which are connected by some of the clubs and a few extra properties. The design of the houses is mostly antique chic. Now he's talking about Soho House. He then moves on to state, this is the club that Harry's wife and Harry frequented in London, but they spent the most time in the farmhouse. It's not really a secret Harry's wife met Harry in Toronto at Soho House. She was a member, and I saw her there several times. Marcus even introduced her and a few friends to our group. My guests are prominent in the industry, and we're checking out the Toronto production facilities. I just happened to be in Toronto for work. Harry was in Toronto for the Invictus Games preparation, and was taken to Soho House as a private place to eat and party. Marcus did the introductions, and of course the spin started early, with the whole blind date narrative, etc., trying to present the romantic storyline, rather than the truth she and her group approached them in a bar. So the information that he's providing here is to pour scorn on the narrative that was that Harry met Harry's wife through Instagram, which of course most people don't accept. Mr. Jones continues by explaining, Marcus told us the story and the staff who were there also said the same. So since it is the only thing that works from a diary perspective, it must be true. I know it's boring, right? Not worthy of a royal romance. This has never been denied, and it is what Marcus does, and he now often lives with the couple. The whole timeline about Harry's wife being in the UK yacht set never fitted with her shooting schedule on Suits. Now, that phrase used there is rather ambiguous, because is he suggesting that the timeline of her being in the UK and that she was a yacht girl didn't fit with her shooting schedule on Suits, therefore she couldn't have been a yacht girl? Or is he simply saying that she was hanging out with the yacht set rather than being a yacht girl, and that was how she somehow knew Harry, and that she had seen him in the UK, and that didn't fit with the shooting schedule? I think on balance, because he's talking in this section about how the two of them met, that I think that he's pouring scorn on suggesting that the idea that she was in the UK and she met through this yachting set wasn't actually truthful because it didn't fit with her shooting schedule on Suits. And it doesn't, to my mind, appear that he's actually suggesting that the yacht girl narrative doesn't fit with her shooting schedule. But it's important to consider that. He basically explains that, and the chance of Harry being in Toronto for only a short time, dropping everything and going on a blind date, yeah, right, that didn't happen. Harry going on random, unvetted blind dates, just an 80s move cliche. So he's pouring scorn on the suggestion that basically they met on Instagram and set up a blind date. Can't make Harry's wife sound like a barfly who approaches a prince in a bar, which, of course, is what he's suggesting actually happened. Again, he states the whole Harry's wife in yacht set, etc. never made sense, as it just didn't fit in the diaries and fit in with her Suits shooting schedule. I met Harry's wife a few times in Soho House. She inquired about my friends, only saw me as a gateway to them, never remembered my name. I've met Harry at Military Garden Party, 9/11 service in London, at the farmhouse and in Toronto with Harry's wife. Never interested in me, but wanting to meet my guests. Funny, but exactly what Piers Morgan claimed she used him for. Therefore, he's demonstrating the behaviour of Harry's wife as the narcissist that we know her to be. And accordingly, Mr. Jones's evidence is interesting. Whilst we don't see in print form his confirmation that he was a yacht boy and therefore she was a yacht girl, the detail that he provides certainly suggests that he was well aware of her, that he knew about the connections with Marcus Anderson, and that he had some involvement with her. And therefore, given the level of detail that he provides in this Quora post, it would support that what he purportedly said in the deleted Quora post about her being a yacht girl may well be accurate. After all, if he's making the admission that he was a yacht boy, in effect that he was hired for the purposes of providing company to powerful men, which is a harmful admission, he may not care, but many people would see that as a harmful admission, that would, of course, lend credibility to the suggestion that if he was prepared to expose himself in that way, that he may well be correct in what he's saying about Harry's wife. A useful and interesting piece of evidence. Accordingly, we have scotched the applicability of rumours, but what we do have is evidence that has been provided from John LeFevre and Christopher Jones, which appears to have veracity. Join me in part 3 as we examine more of the evidence to make a determination as to whether Harry's wife was indeed a yacht girl.